Welcome, ladies. We are back with our Face Forward Summit, and today we are here with Jeanette DePatie, who is also known as the Fat Chick. Welcome, Jeanette. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me today.
I am so happy you are here with us because today, ladies, we get to talk about how to love our bodies. And who doesn't want to do that? I mean, this is really, really great because Jeanette is someone who has spent many, many years teaching people how to exercise and how to stay healthy, no matter what size they are in, no matter whether they're used to working out and they do it on a regular basis, or maybe they didn't work out for years and they just want to get back to it. She is there for them, and she's very well known for that. She is plus sized, certified personal trainer and a fitness instructor, and she's an author of a book and a DVD called The Fat Chick Works Out, which is a really great title, I think. She's also a producer, she's a speaker, she's a spokeswoman. So could you tell us more, Jeanette? What brought you to this idea of teaching people and focusing on women or people, women and men, who are struggling with weight, or maybe they are happy in their weight, but they just want to be as healthy as possible?
Yeah, for a while, for a long time actually, when I was growing up, I was very unhappy about my body, and
Mm.
I spent a lot of time on diets, and I spent a lot of time putting my life on hold and saying, when I am this size, when I fit into this dress size, then it'll be okay for me to do what I want to do with my life. And after a while, I got to the point where I did a lot of research, and I realized that I may never get to that magic size that I thought I had to be. So I decided to do an experiment. What if all the things that I was going to do someday when I looked the right way, what if I just did those things now? What if I decided that my body was just fine the way it was, and everything I had been waiting to do, I would start doing? And so I moved to California, and I started working in Los Angeles, and I was working on content, and I was a producer, and those were things that I wanted to do. I've walked the red carpet with, movie stars, and but I always wanted to teach fitness. That's something I always wanted to do, but I thought you had to look perfect in order to do that. So I just got certified and I started teaching, and I found that it was really joyful for me to do that, and it was kind of reassuring for other people as well, that this is somebody who looks more like me. This is a normal looking person who loves exercise. And so we've shared a lot of joy together doing those things. And since I decided to stop waiting around, my life has been so much better.
I am so happy that you figured it out because there is such a huge need out there. I believe I mentioned on this show already that prior to what I started doing 2 years ago, which is the skincare and beauty consulting and all that stuff, I was a nutrition and fitness coach for 9 years. And
Mhm.
I've helped a lot of people with taking care of their body nutritionally and like teaching them really like the in and outs of eating right. And that's exactly what I was seeing is if people came to nutrition coaching, great. But if we asked them to work out, they had exactly like zillion of excuses. But, it's timing is not good, or I don't feel comfortable and I will never keep up with you guys, and boot camp, no, and that's not for me. And my knees hurt and this hurts and that hurts. And I was always wondering, like, is it because they don't feel comfortable in their body and they're ashamed? Or is it really that they have these conditions and things going on? Probably both. But what do you see the most when people come to you? They've probably been through all kinds of things and they probably have a lot of negative self-talk. How do you manage that? And how do you enroll people to your programs?
Yeah. So sometimes people come to me with a lot of self talk, And sometimes people come to me feeling just fine about their bodies. It really just depends on where they are in their journey. But my number one focus is making sure that every time everybody works out in my class, they leave feeling like a success. And that means understanding what your body is capable of today. What is my body able to do right now today? And celebrating that, no matter how small it is. I think a lot of times there's this notion, and it's supported by a lot of really unfortunate marketing and advertising, that fitness has to be hardcore and you have to feel miserable and you have to be uncomfortable, and then you'll get some magic result that most people just aren't going to get. So it's flawed on both ends. It's flawed in it asks too much of people, and it's flawed in it sets up unrealistic expectations for them that they're just not going to achieve. And so if it's miserable and you don't get anywhere, you're not going to stick with fitness. So I focus on doing what your body can do today and having a hell of a good time. Because look, if it's not fun, if you don't like it, if you're not laughing, you're not having a good time, you're not going to come back. Yeah. There's a million things competing for our time and our energy. And if you want exercise to be one of those things, you need to make it as pleasurable and happy as possible so that you'll prioritize it. Because we just don't prioritize pain. I mean, most of us.
Yeah, so you just answered my next question. I was going to ask you what makes your programs so successful and what makes them work. And it's that people come and they know that they will be with friends, they will have a lot of fun, there is no judgment around anything. And most of your people, because you have such a unique niche in the market, most of the people will come and they will feel like, oh, everybody here is just getting started, or everybody here is bigger, right? Nobody is like six-pack when they come. So, or maybe they are, I don't know. But
no, I mean, I don't just have one type of exerciser. I have ages 16 to 94. I have sizes 4 through, supersized. I have the point isn't that everybody looks a certain way. The point is everybody looks different. They look like themselves, and it's that everybody is welcome. And that's a trick. That takes a lot of work as a teacher to make sure that you create a safe environment for people to come and have fun. And so there are certain things that I take great pains to do. Like, I don't allow negative self-talk in my class, and if in the middle of the workout somebody says, I hate my thighs, I literally record scratches, and I'm like, okay, you apologize to your thighs do a lot of wonderful things. They hold your hips up, and they hold babies, and they allow you to pray, and your thighs are really important. So I literally make my students apologize to the body part that they just disparaged. But I also, every class we say things like, whose class is this? And my students say, my class. And if it hurts, and we say, don't do it, because pain happens sometimes, but we should be working to minimize that pain while we work out as much as possible. And there are ways to do that. And I could talk through some of those ways if you think that's something we should cover.
About the pain, you mean?
Yeah,
because I know there is a good pain, there is a bad pain. Sometimes we want to feel that good pain that comes from, working that muscle that didn't work for a while, and then we feel it the next day. But that's a good pain because that's strengthening that muscle. But then there is a pain that's not healthy. So maybe you could touch up on that and explain to the ladies what is the difference between the two. How do we know?
Well, I mean, a lot of us are in pain on a daily basis, and that's just a reality as we get older. I mean, we'd like to believe there's a magic cure that will make us all pain-free, and that's just not true. And so what you need to do is you need to modify the exercise in a way that allows you to gain some benefit without unduly stressing that part of your body. So for example, in my new workout DVD, Everybody Can Exercise Senior Edition, which is mostly, involves senior citizens, there's a sitting version and there's a standing version, and you can move back and forth between the two versions as you need. There's no shame in doing a seated workout. There's no great victory in doing a standing workout. You need to work out in a way that feels right for your body in that moment. And so in my classes, everybody looks different because they're all dealing with different situations. So some are standing, some are sitting, some can't use this arm, so they only dance with this arm. Some have, everybody has a different situation. So there is the sense of, if you work out too hard, too fast, you're gonna be in a lot of pain, and we certainly want to avoid that. But even if you do have pain, you can still exercise. You just need to do it in a way that's right for you. And paradoxically, if you exercise regularly, it helps with pain management. It's kind of a hard trade-off because it feels like the last thing sometimes in the world you want to do, but keeping the body moving does help with pain.
Yes, absolutely. I am so glad that the trend is changing, because I remember in my 20s and early 30s, I would go to the gym and I would work out. I had a personal trainer at some point, and his thing was no pain, no gain. So it was the total opposite that you just, explained to us. And it
Yeah.
was like, it has to hurt, otherwise your body's not getting anything. And that could lead to a lot of injuries. And then I stopped working out like that, like lifting and stuff. And I started yoga, and I fell in love with yoga. And yoga teaches exactly what you just said, like, be careful, just go as far as your body lets you. Listen to your body. It's your body. Nobody can tell you, how far you can go, because everybody's got different limitations, just like you said. So, but I know
Right.
you guys focus a lot on dancing, right? You do a lot of
Yes,
dancing moves.
I
So
love to dance. I
is it
love music. It
is
makes
it
me so happy.
challenging though? Is it difficult, or is it something everybody can enjoy?
You know, um, a lot of times dance videos focus on choreography. And as far as I'm concerned, choreography is just something to keep your mind busy while your body's sweating, right? My choreography is very simple. It's just a couple of steps, with a little flavor thrown in. But I always tell my students, you can have a fallback step. So if I'm doing something, the last thing I want is to have students standing around and looking at me going, what? I'm like, no, 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 just keep moving, do something, march in place, and you'll catch up later on. But I always tell my students the only mandatory choreography is the get your bums out of your bed and get to my class step. Everything after that is optional.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, because when I hear dancing workout or dance workout, I think Zumba, and that's like, I'm so scared to even go, because I know I'm not a dancer. I have major issues with like coordinating my body. So I've never tried yoga. Yoga. I've never tried Zumba, because I'm just scared that I'll ridicule myself. So there goes my
Well,
negative talk.
yeah, I mean, Zumba, Zumba's it moves your body in ways that are a little bit unusual for a lot of us. I mean, unless we were born in that part of the country and with that kind of music, our hips don't necessarily go like that. And I got 80-year-old guys in my class, and they rock it out. They're not Fred Astaire, but they are just moving and having a good time. And I think a lot about it is the focus. If the focus is on dance, which a lot of dance classes are, that's great. But that's not where my focus is. My focus is on having fun and laughing and just being ridiculous together.
And loving your body. And I
Love.
absolutely love that this new trend of acceptance, and we just want to see the diversity when it comes to body shapes and body sizes, right? Because remember, I don't know how old you ladies are who are watching. Most of you are our age, so somewhere between 30 and 60. And I remember 90s. I was in high school and early college, and like, if you were not thin as a stick, you just were not cool. So
Yeah.
everybody was on different diets. Everybody was just eating lettuce and drinking water, and that was it. And we were trying to be as small and skinny as possible. And then it came like, I remember around 2010, I started watching series called Drop Dead Diva, and I was like, wow, I don't know if you guys you
Yes, I've
saw
seen
it.
it.
It's funny,
Yeah,
it's great, it's and the main character is, she's a lawyer, or pretends to be a lawyer, and she is a bigger size girl, right? And so I just loved how she carries herself and how she just accepts herself, and she's gorgeous. And I was just like, wow, this is. And then we see the models. Modeling agencies are now recruiting all kinds of sizes of models, right? And we
yeah,
see diversity there. And then I went to Target the other day, and I was looking for leggings for yoga. And they are figurines that are now all different sizes figurines and different shapes. And I'm like,
yeah.
wow, this is so great. And it makes me so, so happy. And I know that's what you stand for. That you stand for love your body, correct?
We're getting there.
Yeah.
We're becoming more diverse.
Mm.
I've been in this love your body kick for 25 years now, so the world is starting to catch up a little bit. But it's still a very hard space a lot of times for bigger bodies, because there's a lot of discrimination out there, and there's still a lot of marketing that is very size negative, size oriented. And I get a lot of hate mail, and so there is work to be done, because a lot of what you see in magazines and a lot of what you read is not so body positive, and sometimes you have to kind of put yourself on a little bit of a media diet and say, well, maybe I'm not going to watch so much TV now, or I'm going to take a break from fashion magazines for a bit, to help you sort of cleanse your body acceptance palette, and allow yourself to hone in on those feelings about yourself that are so important to you, and really focus on loving yourself the way you are. I mean, we all have things that we would like to change about ourselves, but I find that we tend to take care of things that we love. And my dad always taught me, when you get a car, you make sure it's washed. It'll run better. And I said, Dad, how does washing the car make it run better? And he said, well, if you love your car, you'll
Mm.
take care of it. And when the car starts making that funny noise, instead of like just turning up the radio, you'll take it to the shop and you'll get it fixed. And you'll do your oil changes, and you'll do the things you need to do because you love your car. If you don't love your car, you're not going to take care of it. You're just focusing on getting a new car. But we don't get a new body. This is it. This is our car for life. So it's more important than ever to love what you've got so that you take care of it.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Plus, our bodies are extremely intelligent, and the body knows what it needs, and it knows what size is perfect for it, right? So
Right.
I am, let's say I am, what am I, 5'7", and I weigh 145 pounds, right? I could go 120, but that would not be healthy for my body. And as soon as I start eating normally, my body would jump back to 145, because that's what its optimum weight is. I could
Mm-hmm.
go 180, but that would not be healthy for me either. So the body will try to go down back, right? Like back to
Right.
145.
Right.
So our bodies are extremely intelligent, and we just need to follow. Like, there's no need to diet ourselves to, like death, or
Yeah.
being carrying extra pounds if we don't have to. We just have to listen to what the body needs and just follow that, and try to keep it as healthy as possible, because you could be size, I don't know, 12 to 16 to 18, but as long as you're healthy and you're happy and you love yourself, you're radiantly beautiful to me, right? So as long
Mm-hmm.
as we take good care of ourselves, like you just said, and we stay healthy, which daily exercise is part of that,
Mm-hmm.
we are on the right track, right?
I find too that I'm more successful in updating my nutrition if I focus on adding as opposed to subtracting.
Yeah.
Right? Because the minute we decide we're going to do without something, we want it more than ever. Right? Because our bodies like we have a little tantrum inside. Right? So instead of focusing on, I'm not going to eat a cookie today, I focus on something that I am going to do. Like, I'm going to eat 3 servings of fruit. I'm going to eat 5 servings of vegetables. I'm going to drink 8 glasses of water. And if you fill yourself with happy and healthy things, you're less hungry for the things that are maybe not as good for you. But it doesn't necessarily set up that inner 2-year-old that's like, I want a cookie, I want a cookie. So that I mean, there's certain things that you can do. You want to listen to your body, but I think if you come from a place of abundance as opposed to a place of deprivation, you're going to be more successful.
Yes, very well. I want to shift a little bit and I want to ask you one thing. How does Radiant Beauty tie back to your business? Do you guys focus on that?
We focus on, for us, Radiant Beauty comes from a laugh or a smile. It doesn't really matter so much whether a person is wearing certain clothes or if they have a certain hairstyle. When a person is experiencing joy and love, and they're in an environment where they're full of love and laughter, Radiant Beauty happens. I mean, people are just, I think it really comes from the inside out, and it comes from feeling safe and loved and happy.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And do you personally yourself have any favorite self-care routine that you run to when the day's been too long and so much has happened and you feel exhausted? What do you love to do for yourself?
Well, I have to admit, I don't really do a very fancy makeup routine or fashion. Part of the reason I became a fitness instructor is I get to wear sweatpants and a sports bra every day, which is, well, everybody's doing that now. But it's also, I like to take baths. I like to take bubble baths and just relax and listen to some music. I like to listen to music and cook a lovely meal for my family. That's something I do for self-care. And I also like spontaneous dance parties. So if I've been sitting too long, I actually set a timer at my desk. And if I'm, every 20 minutes or 25 minutes, I get up, and a lot of times I just put on a 3-minute song and I boogie down for 3 minutes to some song that really makes me happy. And then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go back to my desk and do the work that I need to do. But I think too, like finding balance between sitting and dancing and sleeping is so important, and so often we cheat ourselves of good sleep. So those are things that I do to stay happy and healthy.
Those are all very good ideas. I love it all. It's all important. So, which brings me to our last question. I know that you brought a wonderful gift, which is exactly like what we just were talking about. It's a beautiful gift where everybody gets to dance with you. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So actually, it's my 5-minute hot flash workout. I developed it as part of my work with Dr. Eva Gigi, and we created the hot flash movement. So we did hot flash mobs around the world for menopause awareness. And it's just a 5-minute dance. It has a little warm up, a dance, a little cool down, and it's just allows you to get a little workout in. Like if you need one of those 5-minute breaks from your desk, you can just click on the video, dance with me, and oh, there's my dog, and then and then have a seat. And I think you're going to really enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I can't wait to try it. Even me with zero choreography and zero like coordination.
I guarantee you'll have no trouble whatsoever doing my 5-minute workout. It's very easy, but it's fun, and it gets you up and moving.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Jeanette, for coming today. We'll leave the link to your gift below this video. And ladies, you are going to need a password. So I'll put that password right next to it so you can log in and you can enjoy. And
come visit me on everybodycanexercise.com, thefatchick.com. Come and learn about what we do and join in the fun and festivities.
We will do. Thank you so much for your time, for your wisdom. And ladies, we are going to connect back tomorrow. Let us know what stood out for you today. Wasn't this interview fun? I love this energy. So let us know what you're doing for your own workout and how do you feel about your own body? Do you love yourself? I'll see you ladies tomorrow.
Bye.